You know what time of the day it is. It's Sunday, Preset Cup at Chicago. We got the one and only, the man, the myth up here. It's Taddy and a great guy. Man, I can't believe I was only 45 minutes away from you. Just about there, little man. Dude can shake your hand. We got little man up here. We're going to do the dash race tonight. It's going to be exciting. We had a great excitement-filled race, let's say that, last night with the Xfinity guys. But some of these dash drivers, the names that you spit out, Mr. K. Taddy there, Cinerello 95, he is very new to this league and already moving up with high demand.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing how he can do here in the dash. Other driver names in this dash, we have Cinerello 95, as you just spoke about. Fastlane, another up-and-coming fast driver. We have No Pit Pendle, Noco, Coke FN, Justin Shackett, Cards Fan, and Sparks from Team Canuck. So, I mean, that's a lot of fast drivers, and this is a track that can make for some very good racing.
Yeah, and as everybody already knows, our thoughts are going out to Robbie right now. He's going through some stuff, but congratulations to Coke for taking over the team. Got to talk to him today for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, on what he wants to do, and I think he's going to put it in good hands. He put it in good hands and going to go great places with it. But yeah, him and Noco definitely one to keep an eye on. 95 of all times, like we said, he's looking really quick in some of those races that I've
Clinton,
been
are
with it
you
to.
on Always Alive?
Yeah, I'm
Yourself?
always on. Yep, always. Never change it.
Okay, Tom Horton said on YouTube that he can't hear you.
It's because he's muted.
Oh, sorry about that, Tom Horton. You have been muted. Yeah, I'm actually, this is going to be pretty good having you and Little Man, Giggity's Larry, the cable guy here in the booth. This should be pretty fun. Uh, like we said, we got two races for you coming at you tonight. Like typical, we got a 13% dash race. 8 drivers all trying to finish in the top 2 to advance into our 16-car regular field for 134 laps at Chicagoland. So the 16 plus the 2 dash drivers will have an 18-car field with our preset Cup Series tonight. Should be pretty good action.
And little man, who are you going to keep your eye on tonight?
Probably, I want to see how Fastlane does in this dash for me, but in the race, I'm going to keep my eye on Snooty, like always, and Noco and Coke. Woodruff might can do a little something. He's one of my drivers. Hopefully I get my drivers up there. Like D-Nub, yeah, but watch D-Nub too. He's coming.
He's a
That's
newer
right.
driver to the league as well.
Yeah, that's my driver. He's coming. He ain't here to play. He's gonna win.
So you're a little biased right now, it sounds like, but we're jumping on board at the leaderboard. These guys have been practicing, and normally we see when people practice, especially after the race and stuff, qualifying, that Giggity takes over. So I don't see anybody on the daily right now, but that's not to say that it won't happen, except for Jaw. I see Jaw up there, right there.
Yeah, so this is a tricky one though because the esports was here on Wednesday, and a lot of these guys with setups are still running the track here. Now that you're on the weekly, that's all esports drivers from the other day. So having the custom setups is much different than these presets. You can go much faster with the customs.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to do custom races this week, and driving a preset is like a Cadillac, and then you jump on it. I mean, driving a custom is like a Cadillac, and you jump in that preset. It's like driving a Yugo. But everybody, we've all been here enough. We know how to race. These guys know how to get it done. But we may not see quite as many quick times like an all-time. But customs of presets is a big thing, and tonight we're going preset style on a Sunday night.
Yeah, I'm stoked for this race. It should be real good.
And we got DNA out there. Been seeing him use up the chats quite a bit. So he's out there, and then of course, Mr. Tom Horton. We know him as the Dirt Dog. And Millsy, what up, Millsy? What are you doing, buddy?
He's also selecting drivers from his own team instead of just the overall drivers, as he has one Canuck driver in our dash tonight, Mr. Sparks, I believe.
and we're just waiting on the invite. Coke FN has had a lot on his plate today, especially taking over the new team, getting everything set over there, learning who's where, numbers and everything. Plus, he had a big week this week in his invitational race, and he's trying to set the booth up, the lobby up tonight. So just bear with us 1 second. We do got invites for him, and when we are ready, we'll jump in and watch this dash. They are going to finish up qualifying here in just a couple of minutes, but Chicagoland's a fun track. One line is preferred. You can make it too wide, but to go fast here, you got to stay off that white line just a little bit, be up just above it, but you don't want to be too high.
You brought it up, and I'm glad you did there, Puddin'. Mr. Rob Shin has taken a leave of absence currently from the league. So he was the captain of Shin Motorsports, obviously. They have decided to keep the name Shin Motorsports. You drive for him yourself. But the new leader over there is Coke FN, Yiggity's first full-time driver here that became an esports driver. He knows what he's doing with cars. He can help these guys out quite a bit, including yourself. So I'm interested to see how not only him, but the whole team, Shin, responds to this.
And there's high hopes over there. We've talked with quite a few people over there on the team. Everybody's excited to have Coke over there as the new captain. There's going to be, I already know there's one driver moving down from one series to go back down to truck just a little bit because of his scheduling and because of the internet issues. On Sunday nights, his whole family's there and everybody's on the Wi-Fi, so it's been creating a lag issue. Monday nights make it a lot easier for him, and he's excited to go down there with Mr. Mango and driving the trucks too. But I'll let him announce all the changes when he gets made and everything. But he's got a lot on his plate today between that and doing this tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Out here in the YouTube world, we have still have a few people responding to us. We got Tom Horton and that DNA continuing out here. Tom Horton is putting his 2 cents in. That's not quite as good anymore because now it's a Lightning McPuddin'. It's no longer just regular pudding.
Yeah, and everybody out there, there's an inside joke, and if you want to know it, you can thank your man out there, Checkmate Taylor. We were all racing one night, having a good time. Showed him a picture of when I went to the Hall of Fame, and he came up with a name. He saw me standing next to the Lightning McQueen car. He said, "Well, we're just going to call you Puddin' McQueen." I was like, "Well, you can't have Puddin' and Queen in the same claim. That doesn't sound good." Little man liked it, so he changed it over to Lightning McPuddin'.
Also out there in the YouTube world, we have DNA said Plant needs to be here. Plant will be here tonight, but he will not be in the booth as he is driving tonight. Tonight is his series. Hold on there. Sparks said he didn't get an invite yet. Here, I'll hop in there. I have him on my friends request, so I'll just accept that invite and then send him on real quick. Yeah, you're fine.
And DNA out there trying to make a little conversation, and we're waiting for qualifying the wrap up to get in dash. He says, like, Giggity Racing League, who's your all's favorite driver? Well, of course, me. Right?
I mean,
I'm my own favorite driver.
My own favorite driver. Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of myself.
No, my favorite driver of all time, Mr. Tony Stewart. Watched him on dirt growing up, going to IndyCar, open wheel and everything like that. Now he owns his own team. But I was a Smoke fan, but since he retired, and definitely since he switched to Ford, yeah, I'm my own favorite driver. I mean, that sounds vain, but it's all right.
Damage off, black flags, and caution should both be on for the dash. Yes, sir.
Crickets for pudding, Tom Horton. Well, how can you hear? Well, I mean, I guess you can hear that because your sense of sound is a lot greater since you can't see or talk. They say your senses are heightened if you lose another one.
Oh, DNA was asking who our favorite actual NASCAR driver is. Said his was Brad Keselowski. I'm a Ryan Blaney fan myself. Favorite driver of all time, though, is Mark Martin.
I like old Ryan Blaney. His dad and his family is from Ohio. Still big influences, the Blaneys up there. They own a couple dirt tracks. Here we go, Taddy. I got to race my motorcycle one night in an amateur race at one of the dirt tracks they let us go up there to before I got in cars. But never actually got to meet the Blaneys. But I really like Blaney. He's a great driver, and he's just so cool, calm, and collected. And I'm jealous of his hair because he's got a little bit more than me on top.
Absolutely. Uh, you should. I backed out. I was in there and backed out. Oh, this episode.
Yes, DNA, that's right. I am from Ohio. I'm originally from Columbus, Ohio. Traveled the whole state, racing bikes and cars, working around. We do the travel nurse thing. This is so cool. Like I said, my wife works. So every 13 weeks we're in a new state. And like I said, Taddy, we've talked about it a couple times. I got to hang out with the old hitchhiker himself the other night. Got to hang out with T. Clay. Got to go to the Hall of Fame with him. Crazy Bratton, when we were in D.C., we were only an hour apart, but that contract was cut short due to technical difficulties, so I miss hanging him. But
Okay. Yeah, just tell me in the chat when it's going, but
But the next guy that I think I'm not going to shake hands with you, but I'll give you an elbow bump, is Kate Taddy. He's not too terribly far away from me.
yeah, it's a little social distancing. And just via the voice, I'm thinking I need to stay more distanced with you than maybe anybody else. So you got close. You're in Texas. You know, here I am in Oklahoma. That's about social distanced enough. Even NASCAR didn't want us to meet. They knew we might be trying to go to the Texas Motor Speedway race, so they're like, let's just go ahead and cancel all of NASCAR so these two can't meet.
Yeah, that was disappointing too. Never actually been to that track. Was going to use my voucher too from the game, and I know Money Mike, myself, and you, man. I don't know if Texas Motor Speedway would have been the same with all three of us there.
Yeah, it would have been interesting.
But now we are getting ready to go again. Again, Coke just jumping in, trying to get some information. We appreciate what he's doing. Congratulations to him on his team. He's got a lot on his plate right now. We're going to see some of these dash drivers, and can't stop saying his name though. Ryan Zinarello. It's just Zinarello 95, but again, we haven't seen it too terribly much, Kate Taddy. Somebody coming in from development and they're moving their way up so quick. I think Blakey T was one of them that went from truck to cup. It has happened. It's a very rare situation, so we got to keep an eye on him, not to take away from Coke.
Let's keep in mind though, Cian Cirulo is not a Cup Series driver.
Yeah, not Cup. He's not Cup.
Tonight. He is an Xfinity driver, getting the opportunity to dash, as is Fastlane, Cards fan. Those guys, No Pit Pendle, Sparks, those guys are Xfinity drivers trying to make the race tonight. So let's just keep that in mind. The other drivers in the dash are Cup, but they are custom Cup Series drivers trying to make the show. It's Chicago's a fun race. Cian Cirulo, at the end of the day, he's auditioning. You know, that's where he wants to be. He's trying to tell his captain, hey, I deserve the spot. But here in Giggity Racing League, in order for a driver to make the Cup Series, we have a captain's vote on that.
Correct.
We have 8 captains, so at least 5 must say, yeah, I agree. I think that guy is Cup quality. So he's trying to audition and show us what he's got to try to make it into our Cup Series in the future.
That is correct, yes. So, yeah, thank you for clarifying. And I like that, too, because the Cup here is our elite, especially in our customs on Wednesday nights. That come back and join us for that. Come back every night, 7 nights a week. We do dirt, truck, Xfinity, Cup, and we do presets and customs. But, yeah, come back and watch us then. But it's a cool opportunity. I like being in the Xfinity right now. I think that's a good spot for a lot of people out there because you have the opportunity to dash into 3 potential races, you know, preset Cup and custom Cup, and then if you're one or the other in Xfinity, where truck you can only move up. So I think the way you've worked everything this year, what you're talking about next year, and the new old school points this year, every year Giggity keeps getting better and better and better. And like I said, we're almost up to 400 subscribers, well over how many drivers now? 200, 250 potential drivers between development and all of our series, Taddy?
Yes, sir.
So we are definitely growing in numbers.
I believe we added 10 more guys, ladies and gentlemen, here just this last week, actually. Some guys crossing over from some other leagues that I wanted to join. So we've actually been getting more and more drivers coming into our development series, which is nice. You know, we keep signing some people, filling up these team rosters. We still have a few open slots. for driving up in the upper series. And that's something that's cool for anybody that wants to join what we do in Giggity Racing League. The rosters lock after week 8. That we have an all-star break the following week, and then week 9 of racing, we nobody can be signed anymore. But what we do at that point in time is we then start a point system for the development drivers, so that their next 8 weeks of racing, even though they can't be signed, they can consistently show what they have and run for points themselves.
And explain too a little bit, because it's kind of like baseball or softball or something like that. Football team, people can trade teams. They can members. They can release members. When's the cutoff point for the final trade deadline?
That's the same time. All rosters are locked. You cannot sign any more drivers. You cannot make trades. That is the trade deadline. As soon as the preset Cup series finishes their 7th or 8th week. This is week 6, so 2 more weeks left to the day of being able to make these trades and stuff.
Tom Horton just said he's got 40-plus drivers who would like to participate in Giggity Developmental. Again, everybody out there, if you don't know who actual Tom Horton is, we know him on PlayStation hold on. As Dirt Dog.
Hold on real quick. We can join the race now. However, I've used all my invites getting Sparks.
I will send you one. Give me 1 second to blue screen, and I will make sure you get one, good sir.
Yeah, you were... You little man.
Yeah, I got you.
Simple. Just send me like 2 just in case. It looks like you...
Nope.
Showed up, but only 2 will advance to the race tonight, so interesting event here that we're about to see, as it looks like only 6 drivers. Sparks was having some issue, so he was unable to make it.
Well, I guess I'm racing tonight. I'll be doing race reporter. How about that?
Works for me. What number are you? What am I on, 41?
Unfortunately. I usually run 14, but I gave that to D-Nub.
D-Nub, another one of the drivers that went straight from our development up to our Cup Series. He was voted on and got to run in the Cup Series.
Alrighty, as we're jumping into the race real quick, my mind is blown but not blown. My mind is not blown to see Noko leading, but seeing him in not a black car tonight, that's my mind blown. And then we got 47, Coke right behind him. We talked about those 2 guys too. Can they pull away? Everybody else. The draft is in effect here, guys. A little man, but do you use the draft a lot here? You got to work together. Don't want to race with each other though, right?
Yeah, that's right. You need to stay single file to get up there to catch them. Kind of like Michigan a little bit. That draft helps a lot.
3rd place there is the 88 we talked about, and that's Cian Cerullo, 95 in 3rd place right there behind those 2. Hoping for a mistake. This would be the first time that Coke and Noko are hitting the track in a Cup Series car where they're not teammates. Noko caught the apron, gets up, gets into the wall. Cian Cerullo and Coke have passed him, as that's the 24. I'm not sure who's in the 24.
The 24 is Cards fans, yep.
So Noko back to 5th, has some work to do to get back up there, but the draft is heavy here. That was only lap 1, I believe, maybe 2.
And 95, I mean, 90, yeah, the C95 right there looks like his car's already been to victory lane. Got all that confetti on the inside. Here he goes back to the inside. He's going to the inside of Mr. Coke himself. They're going to drag race down there. Everybody wants to see this. Who's going to give the push to Coke? And it looks like the Highline will.
And here comes the teammate of Cian Cerullo in that 24, trying to work with him. Gets down to the bottom, hoping to push him by Coke. Here comes Noko going to the outside to work with Coke. Now again, I was just getting into this before Noko had caught the apron and wall. Last night, the 47 and the 1 were teammates. Today, they are no longer, as they are 2 different team captains. They both have their own team now. As we spoke about it earlier, Coke runs Shin Motorsports now.
Yeah, still a satellite affiliate, but so you know they can work together good. They've been with each other for a long time, know how each other drive, have a communication. They've got a level of respect for each other, obviously. So, but he's holding high on that 47. Here comes that 24 Cards man to the inside. That inside line is definitely getting a push. C95 to the lead in the confetti car.
You had spoke about it, but this track, you know, you said there's one preferred line, and I actually find that to not be a true statement. This track is made, it is designed for some of the best side-by-side action you'll have. As you'd seen Coke on the outside of the 88 there for 2 laps full. I personally, I prefer the outside line here at Chicago.
And it helps hold your tires a little bit too on the outside, where you're not putting as much pressure on them, wearing them out quick, especially on a preset.
Yeah, and so actually, let's get into that real quick. So this is a preset dash. So these 6 drivers are all in a preset. What the preset is, here's the game. Stock gives you a slider, 1 through 9, 1 being stable as park and be 9 being very loose. Usually these guys will go down pit road and make some adjustments, but with only a 35-lap shootout, they will have to pit. But when they pit, there'll only be 5 to go. So these guys are running their true slider to try and advance for all but the last 5 laps. In the last 5 laps, you probably aren't going to do adjustments, as you may not even take all 4 tires. You may take just a splash and right side tires only. Little contact there between the 47 and the 1. It looks like they both gather it back together and continue through 1 and 2.
Somebody falling off the pace is old MPP himself, No Pit Pendle. Here comes Coke, Noko to the inside of Coke, but it's a little rare to see him back there. Got the race with him last night. Again, Satellite Team being in the chat, my Ohio boy, OH to him. See if he can get back up there. He hasn't lost that draft yet. Still a long race to go, 35 laps, but C95 definitely starting to pull away from these boys.
Yeah, somebody we haven't talked about, Fastlane in the 10, now going to the outside of the 47 Coke. That is for your transfer position of second. Really good to see that. Again, that's another Xfinity guy. So you got an Xfinity guy in the lead and Xfinity fighting for second. Cup driver in second. I believe the only 2 Cup drivers out there are Noko and Coke. So definitely these Xfinity boys are getting the opportunity to showcase what they have.
C95 is starting to pull away from him a little, man. Is that a surprise to you, especially seeing how these guys have a little bit of they got a sniff of each other's draft?
Yeah, so we just seen the 10 of Fastlane, and we seen Coke. They were side by side there for a full lap. In that lap, if Cian Cerullo is able to just walk away, this is a draft track, so if these 5 cars can stay in line, they should be able to catch Cian Cerullo pretty quick. But anytime somebody goes side by side, the guy in front of them should be able to pull away. The draft is huge, but when you take the draft and you got 2 cars side by side and they can't run their own line, it's easy, very easy to pull away from those drivers. As we should actually see the same thing with Coke now, as we got Noko and Fastlane side by side, and here comes NPP to make it 3 wide off of turn 2. They're all holding their line. Looks like Card Fan is going to go with Noko at the top lane, but look how much Coke has been able to just walk away and go catch Cian Cerullo by himself while these guys are racing hard. NPP to 3rd place now, but these guys need to get in line and work together, or else their chances of making the Cup race tonight are diminishing as we speak.
Yeah, we just talked about it too. He worked his way back up there. It's all these guys in one pack, very clean racing, very minimal contact. Some of the most contact, I hate to say this, was Noko scraping that outside wall, slowed him down just a little bit. Can he get back up? He's down in front of that 10 car now. He's going to try to chase that 3rd place car down of MPP, and it does look like Mr. Coke is trying to get to that rear bumper of C95, Cianciarulo 95.
I believe it's Cian Cerullo. I don't know. I'll have to talk to him. But yeah, so as I was saying, you know, when you're side by side, you lose a lot of time to those going single file. Coke clearly has the faster car, and now as he got out there, he's able to sniff the draft of Cian Cerullo. But with that little lead that they do have, if I'm Coke fan right now, I'm not even going to attempt to make a pass. As we've seen how much it'll slow him down. I'm going to stick to the bumper of that 88. I'm going to push him. I'm going to spread myself away from the rest of the field, and I'm going to advance in tonight's race. Again, that's just what I would do if I'm the 47, but that doesn't mean that he won't go side by side and try to win this dash himself. NPP's hoping that they get side by side as he's about 3 car lengths back in that 40 car, trying to get up there race. He's actually closing in, so he must have a sniff of that draft because he's gaining a little bit of ground.
You are correct, Tom Horton. I do not speak Italian, and yet MPP trying to get back up to a Coke right there with them. They are now looking like he's just playing in that draft, knowing that as of right now, if the checkered flag would fly, they would be the dash contenders right now. So they think they're content, but that's also giving MPP right there no pit to try a chance to get on the Coke's draft. Don't push any issues. Still got a long race to go. I'm guessing we probably got around 20 laps to go, probably about 15 in my opinion. Might be a little bit off there, but yeah, 35 laps. Are we going to have to see any green flag pit stops?
Yes, we are. The fuel mileage here is about 30 laps, but on a preset, you may not be able to make that on tires. So this is a 35 lap event. That's actually, so that's why we do 13% dash races, is it makes people have to pit during these dash races or fall off the pace and try to save fuel. But then if it doesn't work, you wasted a lot of time and probably don't have a chance.
No
So
pit to the outside of Coke. Sorry, Teddy.
Oh, you're good. That's exactly what no pit has to do. I seen a little bit of lag. Looked like at a 47 there.
I was just going to say, I think I just saw one little bit of a lag spike.
Yeah, so no pit penalty. He has to get into that second spot to try to advance. As he's in it now, he makes the pass on the outside. What the rest of the field, the 4th, 5th, and 6th here, they want to see that side-by-side action. They want to see Coke and Pendle be side-by-side for 5, 6 laps so that they can get caught back up. They're hurting their own case right now. Looks like Noco's on the outside as the 88 of the Cards fan made a pass. They cannot afford to be side-by-side right now. They've got to single file out and go catch these other 3 cars in front.
Yeah, see Noco in an orange car. Everybody knows my favorite color is orange. Those are my racing colors. I love that paint scheme, but maybe a little superstitious for him to jump out of that black car. And, we saw him leading up front and scraped that wall, fell back, and now he's back here battling, letting these 3 lead cars go away. I think that might be the battle for the transfer spot. But like you said, with pit stops coming up here soon, depending upon when they do it, everything's going to be different. Here comes NPP to the inside of Set 95. Can he get there right there? Coke's going to give him that push in the draft. That's going to definitely hurt No Pit, but Sin 95 goes to the inside. Now he's got the draft of him.
No Pit has the preferred line, and Cianciarulo is not working with either of these guys. He's controlling the line. He's running his own line high on the straightaway. It's low in the corner. So while they're side by side, they're both going to be able to catch his draft at different points. And it looks like Coke was able to get the draft on the straightaway with carrying the speed, but no Pit Pendle was pitting, so he may have tried dropping back intentionally. Something we should speak about. We do have cautions and black flags on for these dash races, so you can't just go full speed down to pit lane. You must get down to the pit road.
That's my driver.
Fast lane has spun out. It does not look like the caution will be coming out.
I think he quit.
Also, the 88 of Cianciarulo has just now signified that he plans on pitting this time by. Sure enough, he locks the brakes. He pulls over. He might have been going a little fast when he got to that line. We'll have to wait and see how this all comes about after green flag stops. But I believe the 88 may have just sped on pit lane.
Sorry guys, I muted my mic just for a second there. Wanted to talk to Mrs. Puddin'. She says say hey to everybody and good luck. Love to see her out there too, because she will watch these races. She gets into it too.
That must be Thunder Puddin', always coming after Mr. Lightning.
Once again, everybody, you can talk to our own checkmate Taylor. He was the originator on that. Him and Boomhammer kind of collaborated a little bit, I guess is the best way to say it. And if anybody does want to change your name, it's only half price right now, $4.99.
Real quick, while this dash race has happened, we just got a new subscriber, so we are now at $3.98 as Dale's Degenerate Racing League has now subscribed to us. It hasn't popped up and renewed on our deal yet, still for $3.97, but I just got the notification that we are now at $3.98.
So by the end of the night, possibly, if not tomorrow for sure, we could hit that 400 number like we've been talking about. Since you give me the opportunity to commentate and participate in KKD, I think it was around last July when I did my first commentary with you guys. It was around 200. So within less than a year's time, 6-7 months, it has doubled in size, and that's awesome. Look what you guys have done over there, all the administrators and captains like you, Little Man, Coke, Mills, RJ Smitty, Trey. Sorry if I'm missing some real quick, but you guys have done one heck of a job to promote this league to where it's at.
Yeah, so it's funny that you said that. Within a year, we've doubled up and gotten to 200. We actually, Giggity Racing League was founded the very, very beginning of March, end of February, beginning of March. So that's 400 subscribers in a year, basically, as a year and a month is about how long Giggity Racing League's been a brand.
I'm not going to come on air with what Tom Horton said he's changed his name to, but I think that's a little inappropriate, buddy.
No, that's in the development chat. That's a joke about the guys making contact with each other on the track. So they say stop touching me about that.
Oh, I got you.
The purpose of that is not inappropriate at all to the viewers at home. That's literally please stop touching my car.
Well, maybe I just got a dirty mind.
We got Tommy Armor Boy in the chat. We got Phoenix in the chat. Nice to see you guys out here. It looks like Coke is going to run it dry as he's the only one staying out on the track. Also, the 88 of Cianciarulo is in front of the 40 on track. Those two are for sure have pitted, and by the looks, either they both got a penalty or Cianciarulo did not get a penalty like I thought he had. He was able to get it woed down in time. So that was actually just a great pit stop then on his end.
He must have foul bushed it.
Or Rowdy bushing it for Cianciarulo. We got the 24 Cards fan has pulled away from the one of Noco. Sorry, backwards. The one has pulled away from the 24. So they are no longer in the draft and catching that 47. But 47 is checked out. The only thing I don't know is with nobody drafting, if Cianciarulo and No Pit Pendle took tires, then they are probably setting the fastest laps on the track right now.
Old school motorsports out there. We know in his dark night, had an opportunity to, call one of their races. And Taddy, thank you for opening this up. You gave me the invite to come do Giggity, and the opportunities that have arisen for me to do other leagues out there. It's great, and sometimes I apologize to the people I've had to turn down. My heart and my soul is all with Giggity, so I'm always Giggity all the way. With the time schedules that they run, also I can't make it. But thank you for your opportunity to give me the chance to do what I like so much right now.
Yeah, so that's actually this is why we broadcast. We only let people race one night a week, except for you can dash in, one night a week for points. A lot of drivers on this game, they get turned away from leagues because people just don't know who they are. They've never heard of them, so they only want people that they know are good, clean drivers. So we're trying to develop drivers here and get them showcased. So if they, for example, want to run 7 nights a week, and they want to go elsewhere, race other leagues, they're more than welcome to. But at least this way we can showcase and say, yeah, they're a good, talented driver. This is what you're missing out on, or what people are, this is how they drive.
Up, and here comes Noco. Looks like he's making a green flag pit stop. Still no caution right now. These guys start to stretch everything out. Like he said, Mr. Coke's going to try to push the limit. Now that he's got a lead, does that give him the opportunity to save, back those corners up a little bit? If he's got a clutch pedal, press it in.
I think it's too late to try to save. 5 laps is a lot. He signified that he's pitting, but 5 laps is a lot to save. And they were really dicing it out there the first 5 to 10 laps. So
there he does.
Think he's able to save anything.
Yep, he's coming in right now. He's coming in right now.
Yeah, I would have done that too. Once Noco and Cards fans pit now with Coke fan or Coke FN. Sorry, it's not fan. I probably would have done that myself. The guy in third's now pitted. You got to get over there. You got to get, even if you're just doing a splash, you got to get your pit stop done. You can't be the last one to make the pit stop. You lose too much time getting back on track while everyone else is already up to speed. As we go back to Noco, Cianciarulo is half a straightaway ahead of him and No Pit Pendle. Cianciarulo was the leader when he pulled off and pitted, so that could be 40-1, could be racing for that dash spot right now.
Yeah, and I agree. The great little battle. MPP gets around Noco.
Here comes Coke and Cards fan off pit lane. Coke is already getting onto the backstretch, about to be merging onto the track. Here comes Cianciarulo. Will he be able to catch the 47 and make the pass? Those two, 47 and 88, they are first and second right now. Here's your dash advancing spot.
I just saw it right there. We're going to switch back to him. It looked like he might have bit that butter. Cards fan, good. He hit that and spun around. Can't tell what happened there, but that's a tough break for him. Fastlane's on pit lane right now. And Checkmate Taylor, the one and only out there in the YouTube world. Buddy, I'm giving you the credit. You were the one that came up with the new McPuddin name. Everybody's giving me a little bit of laughs about it, but thanks, buddy. It was your idea. It was your creation, Frankenstein.
MP Roofer, I'm hoping that you get exactly what you're looking for. He's looking for top 30 finish. We have 8 drivers if you include the dash driver, so I'm really, really hoping that you're able to get that top 30. If not, this game might be rigged.
And we see Coke coming right back to the rear end of that 88 of C95. Said 95. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, being a motorcycle guy watching motocross racing, I think it came from Ryan Cinderella. I think that might be who it is. That's why I think it's recognizable. But we'll have to get a hold of him and talk to him. But Said 95 right now got a lot of the heat coming on him. Can he hold off Coke? Coke's on fresh tires.
I actually don't think Coke's on fresh tires. The way that he's fallen back to Cianciarulo, I actually believe...
You think he got fuel only?
He either did fuel only or maybe just right sides. Cianciarulo stayed out there a little bit long, or was short pitted, probably took tires because he broke it up about halfway. But the way Coke is falling back, even with how strong the draft is here, I'm thinking he went no tires at all. That's just speculation, ladies and gentlemen. I have no absolute certainty. This is not the esports, so we don't get all that cool Ohio equipment stuff on that.
And I watched that race today with all the Cup drivers out there, which was cool to see some guys in $30,000-$40,000 rigs all the way down to Tommy Hill. Got himself a little Logitech on a computer desk, and he was doing well too. But if they can put a running order up on the side like that in that particular racing league, why can't we get one?
Well, I mean, you know they have to do something a little different for, bigger broadcast streaming like that compared to the average Joe like us. We do what we can, but I can tell you, though, we'd have a lot more viewers, and I think it would be best for the game in general if they started doing stuff like that for the local leagues to be able to broadcast.
Yeah, Dirty South out there, that's Mr. Roofer. He said it was a wreck fest. I did see that. Some of those drivers admitted they practice and everything, but even Clint Boyer came on and he heard Dale Jr., who... I do believe that was it, but he heard Mr. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who does a lot of e-racing. He was getting frustrated with some of those guys, too. It was cool to watch. I liked the format, but I think that was it. The checkered flag is out.
Looks like, ladies and gentlemen, that tonight we will be able to see what Cianciarulo can do against the Cup preset driver. Just so everyone knows at home, when they dash in, unlike most games or most racing stuff, they do not have to start in the rear. They will have the opportunity to qualify with the rest of the series.
And they stay in a preset paint scheme also. The only people that change their paint schemes that dash in is the truck drivers, just to let everybody know. So these guys are still going to stay in there.
Yeah, there is a reason behind that. So the development drivers that advance, they are not been signed to a team. And all preset paint job cars have been appointed to the captains and their teams, 4 cars or trucks to a team. So when somebody advances from the development series on Monday night, that we have them on a custom paint scheme simply because they are not on a team, they are not driving an appointed vehicle to them. So these guys that you just seen in the dash, those cars were appointed to them for tonight's event. So the 88, that is an RJM Motorsports, he has all of Hendrick cars. So you will see Cianciarulo in that 88 later.
I just saw Little Man leave the party. I was going to wish him luck tonight and wish his team great to have him up there. Mr. K. Taddy, as Quick joins the booth to help set everything up. You and I, we're going to cut the dash down, shut this broadcast off just for a couple minutes. We are going to go to the points paying event, the big dance at Chicago, Precept Cup style. For K. Taddy, Little Man, myself, we'll see you in about 5 to 10 minutes, y'all. Be safe.